Only one left in the world. Discover the 7 rarest and most exotic fruits on the planet, astonishing not only for their flavor, but also for the unique and surprising stories behind each one. From nearly extinct species to fruits that grow only in remote and unexplored regions, this list reveals true natural treasures that few have ever seen and that may never exist again. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now let's get started. Theme 1: the rarest fruits in the world. In the natural world, few things spark as much fascination as rarity. Whether due to shape, color, taste, or the extreme conditions required for cultivation, some fruits attain the status of living legends among botanists, collectors, and enthusiasts. The simple fact that a fruit is not easily found already elevates it to the level of a precious gem. This is the case with the 7 rarest fruits on the planet, whose stories reveal much more than their exotic appearance. They speak of genetic diversity, environmental conservation, culture, history, and even archaeology. The variegated banana is a clear example of how unstable genetics can produce a highly sought-after fruit. Its white and green stripes are not just decorative, they're the result of genetic mutations that make its reproduction unpredictable. Though edible, its value lies not in taste, but in its appearance and rarity. For this reason, tropical plant collectors are willing to pay tens of thousands of reais for a single seedling. Cultivation is complex, and there's no guarantee the plant will produce fruit with the desired pattern, further increasing its market value. On the other side of the world, in the Tibetan Plateau, grows one of the most mysterious apples on earth, the black diamond apple. With a black skin tinged with deep purple reflections, this fruit can only develop at altitudes above 3,500 meters under extreme climate conditions. The result is a near black apple, extremely limited in quantity, and sold for prices that exceed 1 million reais. Here, rarity is tied directly to geography and climate. Very few farms can sustain such conditions, making the apple a near mythical delicacy. The corpse flower, meanwhile, is famous for its massive size and foul odor used to attract pollinators. But few know that after it wilts, it produces small, vibrant red fruits extremely rare in nature. Though not prized in the market like other fruits, they represent a little-known reproductive phase of this unique plant, whose survival depends on forest habitats that are rapidly disappearing. In the field of archaeobotany, there's the impressive case of the Judeian date. Considered extinct for 2 millennia, it was brought back to life after seeds were successfully germinated from ruins in Masada, Israel. This plant is not just rare, it carries a historical and cultural legacy of an ancient people. The replanted tree, named Methuselah, now flourishes and bears fruit, standing as a living symbol of the union between science and history. Another fascinating example is the Musa velutina, or pink banana. With its naturally bright pink peel, this ornamental banana comes from India and Bangladesh. Though edible, its large, hard seeds make it impractical to eat. Still, its visual appeal and the way its peel splits open on its own when ripe make it a unique botanical curiosity. Its population is declining due to habitat loss, making it harder and harder to find outside of botanical gardens. The vine fruit, a climbing plant native to the Asian rainforest, is another rarity unknown to the general public. It produces small, scaly fruits traditionally used as medicine in remote regions. Even those living near its forest habitat rarely see these fruits, which hide among the foliage. They represent the kind of biological wealth that may vanish before even being properly cataloged by science. Finally, the castor mango, native to southern Borneo, is a classic example of a fruit extinct in the wild but preserved by local communities. Small, dark, and intensely aromatic, it is prized for its unique flavor. However, deforestation and urbanization have nearly wiped out its wild populations. Today, its survival depends on the care of collectors and home gardeners who cultivate it in private yards and botanical nurseries. These 7 fruits show that nature's value lies not only in abundance, but in uniqueness. Each carries a distinct set of features, stories, and challenges that make it irreplaceable. Whether for their beauty, genetic rarity, cultural importance, or cultivation difficulty, they represent the most extraordinary aspects of the planet's natural diversity. Preserving them means preserving Earth's living heritage itself. Theme 2: Rarity and the Value of Fruit. The economic value of a fruit goes far beyond its taste or nutritional content. In the world of rare fruits, scarcity, unusual aesthetics, and cultivation difficulty turn seemingly simple species into luxury items. The combination of biology, extreme climate, and genetic rarity means that fruits like the variegated banana and the black diamond apple are sold for astronomical prices, fueling a niche and highly valued market. The variegated banana is a prime example. It's not just a striped fruit, but a plant with rare genetic mutations that produce unique white and green patterns on leaves and fruit. Its genetic instability makes it impossible to predict whether a seedling will yield bananas with the desired look. This uncertainty creates a rush among collectors and horticulturists, some willing to pay tens of thousands of reais for a single plant. The more balanced and vibrant the striping, the higher the value. The black diamond apple, cultivated exclusively on the Tibetan Plateau, grows at extreme altitudes with drastic temperature fluctuations. These rare conditions alter the apple's pigmentation, making it almost black. Production is extremely limited, and the fruit has become a status symbol in premium markets, especially in China, where a single apple can fetch over 1 million reais. This type of trade involves far more than fruit. It represents exclusivity, social status, and a deep desire for something very few people can access. The economy of rarity is built on sensory experience, storytelling, and the impossibility of replicating certain cultivation conditions at scale. The product becomes almost a piece of art. The pink banana, Musa velutina, and the corpse flower are also part of this market, though with less commercial visibility. In the case of the corpse flower, the economic interest lies more in botanical tourism and scientific curiosity than consumption. Its rare and short-lived bloom draws crowds around the world. The small red fruits that appear afterward are so rare they've become a separate attraction in themselves. Meanwhile, the pink banana, with its exotic look and self-opening peel when ripe, has drawn attention from decorative plant collectors and specialized nurseries. Though not ideal for eating due to its large seeds, its aesthetic value makes it a favorite among botanical gardens and landscape designers. The Judean date, by contrast, has gained symbolic and historical value. Germinating after 2,000 years, the tree grown from the Masada seeds is seen as a botanical miracle. The market surrounding it isn't focused just on the fruit, but also on its powerful narrative. Cultivators, universities, and botanical gardens vie for its genetic material, valuing its symbolism as much as its product. The castor mango, thought extinct in the wild, was rescued by collectors who keep it alive in yards and nurseries. Its value lies not just in its uniquely intense flavor, but in the cultural and emotional memory it holds for the Banjar people. Like other rare fruits, it has become a symbol of ecological and cultural resilience. Rare fruits have therefore become valuable assets. Whether in auctions, exhibitions, or elite nurseries, they fuel exclusive parallel economies. But this phenomenon also raises an alarm. While we place financial value on these species, it's critical to ensure that their cultivation does not lead to exploitative practices or exclude local communities. Theme 3: The Rebirth of the Judean Date. For centuries, it was believed that the date palm of the ancient kingdom of Judah had vanished forever. Its image, preserved on old coins, became a symbol of what had been lost to time. But a surprising discovery changed that narrative. 2,000-year-old seeds were found during excavations at the ruins of Masada, Israel. And against all odds, one of those seeds germinated. The rebirth of the Judean date stands as one of the most iconic cases of extinct plant recovery. In 2005, Israeli scientists planted the seed under controlled conditions. The tree grew healthy, blossomed, and eventually produced fruit. Named Methuselah after the longest-lived figure in the Bible, this date palm is now a living symbol of the intersection between science, history, and faith. The event stirred global emotion. The idea that something could return to life after 2 millennia transcends science and touches deeply on human themes: hope, rebirth, and memory. The Judean date is now seen as a bridge between past and present. It is more than a food. It's a biological witness to ancient history. The date palm was once abundant in the territory of ancient Judah and one of its most valuable crops. But after the Roman invasion and environmental changes, the plantations were destroyed and the species deemed extinct. The seed's successful germination showed that nature's genetic resilience can still surprise even the most experienced scientists. The new tree not only survived, it also produced produce seeds of its own, opening new possibilities for genetic, pharmacological, and agricultural studies. Today, more than 10 trees have been cultivated from ancient seeds, making this project one of the greatest milestones in modern archaeobotany. Beyond science, there is a powerful cultural and spiritual component in this rebirth. The plant has been reintroduced to historical sites and research centers, treated with almost ceremonial reverence. It has become a symbol of hope and renewal for many in Israel and around the world, showing that the past can literally bloom in the present. This story teaches us that nature holds secrets we do not yet fully understand. It also highlights the vital role of archaeobotany in preserving the biological and cultural heritage of humanity. It's worth noting that the success of the Judean date revival inspires other initiatives to recover species believed extinct or on the brink of disappearing. Similar projects around the world seek to revive ancient plants, seeds, and even microorganisms, trying to restore ecosystems and preserve biodiversity essential to our planet's complexity. Additionally, the symbolic power of the Judean date transcends geographical and religious boundaries, becoming a universal symbol of resilience. In today's world, facing environmental crises and rapid climate change, its story reminds us that life, even in its most fragile forms, can persist and renew itself. From an agricultural standpoint, genetic analysis of the ancient seeds has provided valuable insights into historic farming practices and crop varieties of the region. This knowledge can help develop cultivars that are more resistant and better adapted to today's climate conditions, promoting sustainability and food security. Ultimately, the rebirth of the Judean date strengthens the connection between science and spirituality, showing that research can harmonize with deep cultural values. This unity reinforces the idea that preserving nature is also an act of respect for human memory and for life's continuity on Earth. Thus, the Judean date is not just a plant, it is a living symbol that invites us to reflect on time, history, and the transformative power of hope. Theme 4: Variegated Banana, Genetics. Nature is full of genetic mutations, but few generate as much fascination as those that affect the aesthetics of plants in an unpredictable and extraordinary way. The variegated banana, also known as the striped albino banana, is a striking example of this category of natural phenomena. Its exotic appearance, marked by leaves and peels with white and green stripes, makes it one of the rarest and most sought-after fruits in the world, not for its taste, which is similar to the common banana, but because of the rarity of the plant itself. This variety belongs to the group of variegated plants, meaning those that show irregular coloration patterns due to the partial absence of chlorophyll in parts of the plant. In the case of the variegated banana, these mutations make the plant genetically unstable. Many seedlings fail to produce fruit or lose the variegation over time. It is precisely this unpredictability that fuels the species' value among collectors. Few people have access to the variegated banana, even in its country of origin. Its cultivation is difficult, requires specific care, and does not always result in maintaining the striped pattern on new leaves or fruits. That is why each seedling with well-defined stripes can be worth tens of thousands of rees. It is considered a living work of art, proudly displayed in botanical gardens, elite nurseries, and private collections around the world. Furthermore, the variegated banana represents a technical challenge for horticulturists. To maintain the plant's visual pattern, reproduction must be done by cloning seedlings that express the desired characteristic, thereby avoiding regression to the common genetic pattern. This limits mass propagation and reinforces the specimen's exclusivity. The culture surrounding the variegated banana is not just decorative, it also feeds research on plant epigenetics, unstable genetics, and ways to preserve rare lineages. The plant serves as a model for researchers to understand how genes are expressed randomly or induced by environmental factors. Symbolically, the variegated banana represents the extraordinary within the everyday. After all, we are talking about a fruit known worldwide that, through mutation, becomes almost unrecognizable. It is this dissonance between the familiar and the exotic that makes it so hypnotic. Beyond the visual impact, the variegated banana stimulates reflection on biodiversity and genetic fragility. In an increasingly homogeneous world dominated by standardized cultivars for mass production, specimens like the variegated banana highlight the importance of preserving genetic diversity. This diversity is crucial for species adaptation to climate change and resistance against pests and diseases. Another relevant aspect is the relationship of the variegated banana with traditional versus modern agricultural practices. While industrial agriculture seeks uniformity and productivity, maintaining Fascinating plants like the variegated banana values genetic uniqueness and complexity, which are often lost in conventional breeding and selection processes. The mutations that result in variegation are frequently associated with changes in mitochondrial or chloroplast DNA, which control the production of pigments essential for photosynthesis. This makes the variegated banana also a subject of study to understand how cellular organelles contribute to genetic and phenotypic expression, central topics in plant molecular biology. Moreover, fascination with the variegated banana goes beyond scientific and horticultural circles, permeating popular culture, art, and design. Images and representations of this plant appear in paintings, photographs, and even fashion, symbolizing the beauty of imperfection and the uniqueness of nature. In the field of conservation, the variegated banana raises debates about the ethics of genetic manipulation and the protection of rare species. Maintaining living specimens, especially those that depend on cloning techniques to survive, highlights human responsibility in preserving life and the delicate balance between intervention and respect for natural processes. Finally, the variegated banana invites us to reflect on the complexity of life and the role that small genetic variations can play in creating the diversity we observe around us. This plant reminds us that beauty can arise from chance, and that even mutations considered defective or abnormal have the potential to create something unique and valuable. Theme 5: Corpse Flower, Beauty and Death. The corpse flower, or Titan arum, Amorphophallus titanum, is one of the most well-known and admired plants among botanists and enthusiasts of exotic flora. Known for its colossal size and its fetid odor, similar to rotting flesh, this plant challenges all conventional notions of botanical beauty. However, one little discussed aspect is the existence of the fruits it produces after flowering. Small, shiny, and extremely rare. The corpse flower is endemic to the tropical forests of Sumatra, Indonesia. Its inflorescence can reach over 3 meters in height and 1.5 meters in diameter, being considered the largest single flower in the world. Its strong smell is not a defect, but an evolutionary adaptation. It serves to attract specific pollinators such as flies and beetles drawn to the scent of decomposition. The flowering of the corpse flower is a rare spectacle, occurring only once every several years. When it finally blooms, the event attracts visitors from around the world. However, few know that after flowering, if pollination is successful, the plant's base develops clusters of small red fruits. Each fruit is about 1 to 2 centimeters in size with vibrant coloration. These fruits are neither edible nor commercially used, but are scientifically valuable. Their appearance is as rare as the flowering itself, and therefore they are highly studied in botany. Their use is aimed at reproduction and species preservation, especially outside their increasingly threatened natural habitat. The corpse flower is a vivid reminder that nature does not need to conform to our ideas of aesthetics. It represents the sublime in what seems grotesque, the extraordinary in the ephemeral. Its fruits, though little mentioned, are essential for its continuation and have become the focus of conservation programs attempting to replicate their development conditions in botanical gardens worldwide. Theme 6: Musa velutina, Pink Banana. Musa velutina, popularly known as the pink banana, is one of the most exotic fruits of tropical Asia. Native to India and Bangladesh, this fruiting and ornamental plant captivates with its small, bright pink fruits that literally open by themselves when ripe, revealing a white pulp with large black seeds. Despite its striking appearance, the pink banana is not widely consumed. Its seeds are large and hard, making ingestion difficult. Still, it is edible, with a light, sweet flavor similar to the common banana. Its greatest value lies in its aesthetics, making it a favorite among landscapers, collectors, and botanical gardens. The plant reaches about 2 meters in height and develops small clusters that stand out by contrasting with the green leaves. The fruit peel begins pale pink and intensifies in color until it spontaneously opens, marking the ideal ripeness point. This phenomenon is rare in the fruit world and further increases its exotic appeal. Over time, Musa velutina has faced challenges. Its natural habitat is being destroyed by deforestation and urbanization. As a result, it is now mainly cultivated in specialized nurseries and conservation centers. Its survival in the wild is threatened, and species maintenance depends almost exclusively on human action. Additionally, Musa velutina is used as an ornamental plant in various countries because of its curious reproductive cycle and unusual appearance. It is a plant that educates about biodiversity and nature's adaptations, and is employed in educational projects on tropical botany. Theme 7: Black Diamond, Tibetan Luxury. The black diamond apple is no ordinary fruit. Grown in the isolated and cold regions of the Tibetan Plateau, this dark purple, almost black apple has become a symbol of luxury and exclusivity. With extremely limited production, a hostile climate, and a harvest restricted to a few weeks each year, this apple is among the most expensive fruits in the world. Its name derives from the dark shine that reflects shades of purple, blue, and black depending on the light. This pigmentation is caused by intense solar radiation during the day and extreme cold at night, a rare combination of climatic factors that alters the fruit's skin chemical composition. The black diamond apple is actually a variation of the Huanu apple. However, unlike other apples, it requires specific growing conditions. Only a few farms in Tibet manage to produce the fruit, and even among them, the quantity is extremely low. For this reason, it has become a sought-after item in Asia's gourmet markets. The flavor is sweet and mild, but those who consume it are looking for more than taste. They seek exclusivity, status, a symbol. The apple is sold in personalized boxes and can fetch prices exceeding 1 million reis. Some are even auctioned in agricultural sales. Because it is so rare and difficult to cultivate, this fruit has also become a symbol of biodiversity threatened by climate change. With rising temperatures, the microclimate necessary for its production is being altered, and its future is uncertain. Theme 8: Mango Castori Treasure. The castori mango, or Mangifera castori, is one of Indonesia's greatest botanical treasures. Native to the tropical forests of southern Borneo, this fruit has an intensely sweet aroma, dark orange flesh, and a skin that darkens to black when fully ripe. Today, it is considered extinct in its natural habitat and survives only thanks to private cultivations and dedicated collectors preserving the species. The history of the castori mango is deeply linked to the Banjar people, who have known and cultivated it for centuries. It was common in traditional orchards and forests near villages. The fruit has a stronger flavor than commercial mangoes and a dense, creamy texture, making it ideal for jams and typical regional desserts. But its rarity is not just in taste, it is a direct result of the destruction of its ecosystem. In recent decades, urban expansion, unregulated agriculture, and logging have caused the disappearance of many forest areas in Borneo. As a result, the castori mango lost its natural environment and no longer grows spontaneously in the wild. The species was classified as extinct in the wild by the Indonesian government. Despite this, small groups of local farmers and botanists decided to preserve the castori mango through cultivation in private nurseries and gardens. Currently, the seedlings are carefully cared for, and the species is one of the most valued fruit trees among those wishing to preserve the genetic heritage of native fruits in the region. From a scientific perspective, the castori mango is of great interest because it is distinct from commercial mango varieties. Its genetic material may be important for developing new varieties resistant to pests, diseases, and climate change. Thus, its conservation is not only a cultural mission, but also a strategic one for the future of agriculture. With its unmistakable flavor, historical value, and threatened origin, the castori mango represents more than a rare fruit. It symbolizes the fight for preserving natural riches in the face of environmental degradation. Its return to cultivation is a sign of hope for endangered species. Theme 9: Vine Fruit Hidden Wealth. In the dense forests of Southeast Asia, especially Indonesia, grows quietly a climbing plant locally known as sipo, vine. While the stem is widely used for crafts, it is the fruit of this plant that draws attention for its rarity and beauty. Few outside local communities have heard of it, and even fewer have seen it in person. The vine fruit is small, round, and has a scaly skin resembling that of the sala, or salak, fruit. Its colors vary from yellow-green to intense red as it ripens. When cut open, it reveals a light and slightly sweet pulp, which in some cultures is used both as food and traditional medicine. Despite its presence in local traditions, the vine fruit has never been cultivated on a large scale. This is due to its low productivity, irregular life cycle, and propagation difficulties. It grows only in very specific humidity and shade conditions, typical of dense forests now rapidly being replaced by plantations and urban areas. For this reason, the vine fruit is considered a hidden botanical jewel. Its importance is twofold: cultural as an element of indigenous tradition, and scientific as an example of biodiversity at risk. In recent decades, researchers exploring Indonesia's flora have shown growing interest in this fruit, aiming to understand its nutritional and medicinal potential. The plant also holds important symbolism among the peoples who know it. It represents connection with the forest, survival, and respect for nature's balance. At a time when biome destruction accelerates, the vine fruit becomes a symbol of what may disappear without the world noticing. In summary, this fruit is a reminder that many secrets still lie hidden in nature. Protecting it involves not only conserving the plant, but also the entire ecosystem that sustains it. Theme 10: Rare Fruits and Conservation. The rare fruits presented earlier, such as the variegated banana, corpse flower, black diamond apple, and casturi mango, are not merely curiosities of nature. They represent our planet's vast biodiversity and the fragile ecological balance necessary to keep these species alive. Preserving rare fruits goes far beyond aesthetics or market value. It is a matter of cultural, nutritional, and environmental survival. Most of these fruits are threatened by similar factors: habitat destruction, climate change, uncontrolled resource exploitation, and lack of awareness about their ecological importance. In the case of the corpse flower, for example, the flowering event itself, already extremely rare, depends on specific environmental conditions that are increasingly scarce due to deforestation and environmental degradation. Conservation of these species can occur in two main ways: in situ, in their natural habitat, or ex situ, in botanical gardens, private collections, or genetic banks. Both are necessary and complementary. Protecting natural environments ensures the full ecological cycle, while cultivation in controlled locations allows saving species no longer found in the wild and creating possibilities for future reintroduction. Many rare fruits have great medicinal, ornamental, or nutritional potential that has yet to be fully explored. Substances found in their fruits, leaves, or seeds could become sources of new medicines, innovative culinary ingredients, or sustainable alternatives to widely used products. Therefore, scientific institutions, universities, and NGOs have been creating preservation programs to avoid the disappearance of these species. These projects also have an educational role, showing new generations the value of biodiversity and encouraging active involvement in its protection. Moreover, conserving these fruits is deeply connected to preserving ancestral knowledge. Indigenous peoples and traditional communities have known these species for centuries and are often the only ones still mastering their cultivation, harvest, and use. Preserving a rare fruit often means preserving a language, ritual, history, and cultural identity inseparable from nature. When a fruit disappears, a piece of the culture that recognizes and uses it also disappears. The growing homogenization of food, with few varieties dominating the global market, poses risks to food security. Dependence on a small number of species makes agricultural systems more vulnerable to pests, diseases, and climate changes. Rare fruits, with their unique genetic diversity, may contain resistance traits that will help develop more adapted and resilient cultivars in the future. Technology has also played an important role in conservation. Techniques such as cryopreservation, tissue culture, and genetic sequencing have enabled endangered species to be stored, studied, and even multiplied in laboratories. These strategies join local actions by farmers, collectors, and communities, creating a global network of care for plant genetic heritage. Therefore, rescuing rare fruits is also rescuing an essential part of our relationship with nature. If we want a sustainable future with food diversity, ecological balance, and respect for the planet, we need to see these fruits not as oddities, but as living testimonies of a world still thriving, albeit silently, in forgotten corners of the planet. Every rare species saved represents a conscious choice for the preservation of life in its richest and most plural form. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Also, check out other interesting content that is appearing right now on your screen, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.